accept you're the black sheep. A lot of the time, criticism comes from a place of self-insecurity. Give up now, before it's too late. By people that don't understand you, the white sheep, one of the best things you can do is to call them out, because you're going against the herd. It may take 10 or so paddocks to find their fellow black sheep. This is where life starts to get fun. Hello and welcome yet again to me, Pat Nash, talking to the camera raw without any preconceived idea of what I'm going to talk about, nor a script. This is all just a continuous flow of consciousness. Though there is something that popped up this week, and that was what it's like to be the black sheep. I had someone say to me that they went out for dinner. They went out for dinner, and through a big shift, a big change in their life, they were surrounded by what they saw as the white sheep. The sheep that tend to follow, that need a shepherd. And they were criticizing the decisions made by this person. Evidently, this person felt like the black sheep. So, have you been in this sort of position before? Because I know that I have. And being the black sheep isn't easy. But one thing that you need to know is that there are many black sheep out there. It's just about finding your right herd. Now, being misunderstood gives you an opportunity to explain who you are to those that don't understand. Seek first to understand and then to be understood, as Stephen R. Covey talks about in 7 Habits of the Highly Effective Person. A fantastic book. Actually, literally, this book right here. So, it's very important to, first of all, understand who you are, why you see yourself as this black sheep. Because if you're going out for dinner and you're receiving this, in a sense, criticism for what it is you're doing, for taking a risk, for trying something new, for doing something completely out of the ordinary, and you're being criticized by doing these things by people that don't understand you, the white sheep, you're thrown into a position where you kind of do need to explain yourself. Now, you don't need to over-explain, but you just need to set the tone. Set the tone for why you're doing these things. And accept that, hey, they're probably not going to understand anyway. But by standing your ground, by truly believing in yourself, who you are, and why you're making these moves, they may have a moment of second-guessing their criticism. You may be able to help them reflect on why they said these things. Because a lot of the time, criticism comes from a place of self-insecurity. And when people see you doing extraordinary things, it brings it back to them. Why aren't they doing the extraordinary thing? Why aren't they the person under the spotlight? Now, not everyone wants to be under the spotlight, of course. But when you put yourself, this extraordinary version of you, in front of others that haven't taken a risk, that haven't decided to jump into an unknown, to really express themselves in ways that generally aren't accepted nor understood, they're not going to understand you. And that's okay. And a lot of the time, it will reflect in their behaviors. Now, we could get deep into the psychology behind why these people behave this way, whether it be because of conditioning, whether it be because of self-insecurity, and a whole lot more. But being the black sheep puts you in the 1%. The 1% of the crowd that you're currently in. You have decided to become your own shepherd, to be the one that calls the shots. A lot of people in our society are not in a place to call their own shots. Now that could be because they just choose not to, and that's absolutely fine. But when you're calling your own shots, it doesn't always mean they're going to be right. Just like the shepherd taking care of all the, again, white sheep, sometimes the shepherd's wrong too. And this is usually why these white sheep see you as a threat, because you're going against the herd. You're going against the current. And when people see this, it's a disrupt of the pattern that they're used to. You're a pattern disruptor, and trust me, it's not a bad thing. Yes, it will make life more difficult in the sense that you will be having to do these things that others don't or haven't done, and will put you in a place where you may need to explain yourself and try to describe why you're doing these things to a mind that doesn't quite understand, that can't conceive why that you would be doing these things because it seems wrong. So, being a black sheep and surrounding yourself in an environment where you are completely surrounded by white sheep, you're generally not putting yourself in a place to thrive. You may, very rarely, but you may be lucky enough to convert one of those white sheep into a black sheep. And we see this a lot, especially when the black sheep over here begins to succeed and raise the bar. The bar. When the black sheep is down here, they're trying something new. You've got all the white sheep over here pointing, laughing, criticizing. Why are you doing that? That will never work. Give up now, before it's too late. These external forces and scarce mindsets, negative energies, are very hard to completely dismiss. A lot of the time, this black sheep here needs to take them on board. This black sheep needs to understand that they're coming from a place of scarcity. But when the black sheep has a mind full of abundance, nothing can stop it from thriving. These white sheep over here, they're surviving. They're fine. They're in a pack. They're all herded together. They're all doing what they're meant to be doing, all doing what they're told. They're going to survive. But very rarely do you see the white sheep thrive. That puts us back onto the black sheep. Now, there are absolutely farms of black sheep out there. There are paddocks full of black sheep. So it's up to this black sheep here to figure out where those paddocks are. You will need to break away from the white sheep. That's one of the only ways that this black sheep is going to be able to jump over the fence into the next paddock. It may take 10 or so paddocks to jump into to find their right group, their fellow black sheep. It's a black sheep party and everyone's thriving. Now, it doesn't come overnight. I mean, for some black sheep it may. But a lot of the time, it takes someone a long time to figure out why they are so different. Now, we're in a day and age where networking and connection is very, very readily available. The fact that I can sit here, talk to a camera, and know that there's another black sheep out there watching this going, hey, Pat, I resonate. I fully understand where you're coming from because I'm the black sheep as well. And when you find your tribe, when you find your herd, when you find the paddock, the environment of other sheep that fill you, you will know. You will see incredible growth, dramatic change in yourself. This is where life starts to get fun. You know, we see a lot of people thriving after they walk through the trenches. They do the hard yard first. On a 24-hour scale, they eat the toad first. They do the hardest thing in the day first, so that everything later becomes that little bit easier. That could look like doing a 20-kilometer run. That could look like jumping into a cold shower. That could look like just getting out of bed. And we've all been there, especially when something's not quite right in your head on that particular day or during a particular time where you do feel pressure. So, walking through the hard yard, getting through the trenches, swimming against the current, these are all ways to find yourself away from the herd of white sheep that don't understand. But let's say this herd of white sheep, they're absolute loved ones. You love these sheep, these people, to bits. And they love you. But you really need to question whether their reactions to your doings, your actions, are worthy of you explaining yourself. If you're showing up every single day doing the best that you can to work against the current, to build something of your own, and these people are continuously dragging you down, are they really worth having in your corner? They're holding you back. They're holding you back from thriving. One of the best things you can do is to call them out. Call them out on it. Be extremely blatant with your purpose. My purpose is here and it's going to help me thrive. I don't need you telling me that I'm doing something wrong. I'm prepared to make my own mistakes. I'm prepared to fail. And if you aren't prepared to do the same thing to reach your highest desires, to achieve your dreams, then that's on you. I'm not the one missing out. So if you want to continue supporting me, I would absolutely love that. And if there's anything you want me to support you in, let me know. I understand that all this criticism is coming from a place of insecurity. So let me know why. Why are you speaking these words to me? Let me help you. Let me help you in whatever it is you're trying to build. It's reciprocated if the unconditional love is there. So take notice. Take notice of this unconditional love. Take notice of whether the sheep in your paddock are the right sheep to be around. Are you truly thriving to the best of your possible ability, to walk along your highest path. Because if you're not, something has got to give, and no one is going to help you out of the ditch unless it's you. You're the only one that can save yourself. Now, a lot of people may turn to God. A lot of people may pray every single day to get out of a difficult situation. But if you're not able to recognize that you're in this difficult situation in the first place, the cycle will continue to rinse, repeat, loop and spiral itself. And you're going to be stuck in the middle, not knowing where to go, what the next steps are, nor how to develop a roadmap that helps you thrive. So, take a look at where you are now. Accept you're the black sheep. Accept that this is a time in your life where you're making incredible changes that a lot of people aren't going to understand, and that's okay. You don't need to over-explain yourself to those that don't show you unconditional love. Because if they do truly love you, they will support you in whatever ambitions you have. That may be showing up online exactly like this, as I said before. It may be pulling out your phone and documenting your day. It may be speaking your truth to a camera. And your truth may not align with their truth. And that's the beautiful thing about being human. It's the beautiful thing about having separate minds. Minds that can form, generate self-opinions, and converse with one another. Tell me why I'm wrong. I'm ready to learn. Are you? And if the answer's no, is it really worth your time? Now, thank you for listening. That was something that had been on my mind this week. And being the black sheep, don't get me wrong, being the black sheep is a marvelous thing. But it will make life harder if you are in the wrong paddock. So, as always, we're going to take in 3 deep breaths, 3 inhales and exhales. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. And we're going to say a few words together to wrap up this video. Here we go. May each step along your highest path guide you. When you're sitting in a place of indifference to those around you, may your energy be cultivated within. So when the energies of others try to protrude onto your own, you can reflect them with love and generosity. They may not understand, and that's perfectly okay. Because so long as you understand yourself and the power within to thrive as the special being that you are, you can achieve anything. Thank you so much for joining me once again. My name is Nash, and as you can see, I am not in nature. I'm not in a luxury Airbnb. Today I'm in my new space, And I thought this is a great opportunity to film a YouTube video with clutter around, because you don't need to have a beautiful environment to be able to drop in and speak your truth. A lot of you may already know this, and I think it's an obvious thing as well, but I think it's good to show that this is a period in my life where I'm still building. And if you're still building, show that. Let the world know who you are as your most genuine, authentic self. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, mwah. Play safe, be kind, and bless you all. You're all amazing. Oh, there we go.